What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we have to talk about the Jude Bellingham situation because more and more big journalists and newspapers have announced that Liverpool have pulled out of negotiations regarding the Jude Bellingham transfer, and I'm really annoyed and furious if that's the case, because FSG put all their eggs into the Jude Bellingham basket. They basically sacrificed this season by waiting on Bellingham, and everybody knew that Bellingham would command a huge 120 million pound transfer fee, yet FSG act like they are surprised. But Jan Fjørtoft, who is a journalist and an expert in Bundesliga transfers, he said that Liverpool have actually put in a bid for Bellingham, and he's speculating that Bellingham is Liverpool's #1 target still, and the reports are saying that Bellingham is wanting to go to Liverpool. His family's preferred destination is Liverpool, and Bellingham is leaning towards going to Liverpool as well. And Jan Fjørtoft has actually confirmed that a bid has been submitted by Liverpool for Jude Bellingham, but straight after he said that Liverpool sent an offer to Dortmund, straight after that tweet went out, more and more reports have come out that the Liverpool are pulling out of the Bellingham negotiations. So he reckons the offer was very far away from what Borussia Dortmund expected to get for Jude Bellingham. So maybe they want 150 million euros, which is around 125 million pounds, and maybe Liverpool offered something like 90 million or 95 million. So the valuations are really far apart. And because Bellingham wants to sign for Liverpool, this could be, and I'm speculating here, but this could be a tactic by Liverpool FC and the Liverpool hierarchy to put more pressure on Dortmund to lower the fee, or to see if Bellingham will push Dortmund to accept the Liverpool's offer, because he wants to go to Liverpool and his family wants Bellingham to go to Liverpool. They want to come home to England, and they see Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp as the perfect project for Bellingham to start regularly, to grow, to develop, to follow his trajectory into a world-class player. And so it's a very weird, because there are so many contradicting reports, so many different interpretations of what this could mean. The bottom line is FSG have to give Jurgen Klopp at least 250 million pounds, and many people are saying that FSG can't fund Bellingham and the other transfers that is required and that are essential for this Liverpool rebuild to be complete. And that's probably the reason why FSG are looking for outside investment, for minority investment into Liverpool FC. And I'm really sick and tired of the PR spinning that is going on by FSG. And you have to also take it into account that, for example, Paul Joyce, who is a very reliable journalist, he's a mouthpiece for Liverpool FC. He said that Liverpool have pulled out of the Alisson deal before we signed Alisson. He said that Liverpool were pulling out of the Thiago deal before we signed Thiago. Journalists saying that Liverpool have pulled out of the race to sign Jude Bellingham could be a negotiating tactic, because according to these reliable Liverpool journalists, 135 million plus add-ons deemed too much given need to overhaul squad. And I think that is a tactic for Liverpool to try and get Dortmund to lower their valuation. But Dortmund, if you were Dortmund, would you sell to Liverpool for 20, 30, 40 million pounds less if you could sell to Real Madrid or Manchester City or Manchester United and they would pay your asking price of 130 million? Would you sell to them? The only way that happens is if Bellingham says, I'm going to Liverpool or nothing else, or I'm staying at Dortmund. And that could be a scenario that happens as well. Let me know in the comments below what do you think, and let me know, and I would love to hear your opinion. I love reading your comments, and I try to respond to them as much as possible. And of course, leave a like on this video if you enjoy these, and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the latest Liverpool transfer news updates. So Liverpool have decided not to pursue a deal for Jude Bellingham, according to The Guardian and many other newspapers. Bellingham has been a leading transfer target for Liverpool for more than a year, but if Liverpool pull out of this right now, then we have to absolutely nail the other transfers. And I don't want to be linked with Conor Gallagher of Chelsea and other players like that, because that is, I think that could be absolutely disastrous. David Lynch had a brilliant opinion on this. In isolation, if you just look at it in isolation, Liverpool calling off their pursuit of Jude Bellingham makes sense given the scale of the rebuild that they need this summer. Liverpool need to sign 3 or 4 world-class players, and if you spend like 2/3 or 60-70% of your transfer budget on one player, that leaves relatively little money for the other transfers. But it throws up major questions regarding football strategy and the club's owners, FSG. And I already had major questions about Liverpool's strategy, because why on earth would Liverpool arrive in this position in the first place? Why on earth did we let the midfield department rot away? Because that's what Liverpool have done. We signed one midfielder in 4 years who is a senior midfielder and who is not a teenager or who is not a loan transfer. The failure to sign a midfielder last summer was characterized as a refusal to compromise on targets. Yet Liverpool's first choice in that position, a player that Liverpool have been looking to sign for years, has now been deemed out of reach for reasons they could easily have predicted 12 months ago. I mean, Bellingham's price rising and rising as more clubs are interested, as he's improving and also as he had a great World Cup. Liverpool will now chase alternatives, according to David Lynch, some of whom could have been secured last year and without the need to write off an entire season. That was exactly what I said at the beginning of this video. So was their previous inaction down to a belief that they did not need to start rebuilding the midfield, or an inability to fund it? And that's a very good question. I think it was kind of both, because at the start of the last summer transfer window, Jurgen Klopp himself said that Liverpool don't need a midfielder because we have 8 midfielders with all kind of skill sets. And I think that opinion has come back to haunt Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp himself as well, because Liverpool had an absolute disastrous of a season. You can't brand it any other way. Whether a failure of football strategy in the first post-Michael Edwards window or FSG's lack of money is to blame, fans have every right to be frustrated by the consequences. This woeful season and no Bellingham. Liverpool are now under huge pressure to correct their mistakes this summer. And that's the thing with Liverpool and their transfer strategy. You have to nail every single transfer, otherwise you are facing a situation of another failed season, and then Jurgen Klopp's head could be on the chopping block. Jurgen Klopp could be facing the sack if we have another season like this. Jurgen Klopp himself admitted that. And also you have to also wonder, like Arthur Melo on loan on transfer deadline day, that was a panic signing, and that still cost Liverpool a lot of money. 4 million in loan fees plus £100 million per week contract for Melo, Arthur Melo, who's played 16 minutes in his whole Liverpool career. I still can't believe that's the case. Liverpool massively overpaid and lost out even on a loan transfer. On paper it looked like a decent deal, but it would have been better if Liverpool signed not a panic buy, but a proper midfielder. Matheus Nunes was available. He was waiting weeks for Liverpool to come in for him. And then we let Wolves get him because we didn't want to sanction a transfer. And it's massively concerning for the future of Liverpool in the next few years. What is going to happen if there is not enough money to buy Bellingham and other players and put a proper rebuild in place. Liverpool have done this tactic before. On February the 16th, 2018, there was an article by Paul Joyce saying Liverpool end pursuit of Roma goalkeeper Alisson, and then in the end we signed him for a little bit lower transfer fee than probably Roma wanted to sell him for. Another scenario is Janager Fjørtoft came out and basically leaked that there has been a bid that went in for Jude Bellingham by Liverpool, and someone at the club panicked, or the hierarchy at the club panicked, because Liverpool don't want these bids to be leaked out to the press, and they basically utilized every journalist that they have to write stories that Liverpool have pulled out of the race. So it's what is your scenario that you think happened? What is your opinion? What is the likeliest scenario that happened? Let me know in the comments below. Another interesting point is why are the journalists saying that Liverpool have pulled out of the race? Why are they just not let Real Madrid win the race for Jude Bellingham? And that wouldn't make the club look so bad. That's why I'm leaning towards, I think this is a negotiating tactics by Liverpool FC themselves, that they try to get Dortmund to lower their price, or they try to get Jude Bellingham to put some pressure on Dortmund from the inside, so that they sell to Liverpool at a little bit of a lower price. Because remember, if Jude Bellingham wants to go to Liverpool, he can say to Dortmund, I'm not going to Real Madrid, I'm not going to Man City, even if you accept their higher bid, I want to go to Liverpool. That's an interesting theory, that if a football club like Liverpool work on a target for years and years, and then they decide in April that they can't sign him because he's too expensive at a price that everyone knew Bellingham would cost a huge price, why wouldn't Liverpool just let Real Madrid win the race for him? Because Bellingham has chosen Real Madrid instead, rather than briefing the media and journalists that Liverpool don't have the money to sign Bellingham. That makes the club look worse than you know, the other tactic, which is to just let him go to Real Madrid or another club. If you are just after a PR exercise, you should instead say Liverpool tried everything to get him, but Bellingham chose Real Madrid, and then he goes to Real Madrid. You wouldn't say this like Liverpool pulled out of the race because they can't fund the summer rebuild. And the biggest problem this summer is not definitely like not getting Bellingham, because we could get 3 other midfielders who would be better for Liverpool's future combined than just buying Jude Bellingham. The problem is not buying a midfielder last January, not buying a midfielder last summer, not buying a midfielder after Liverpool won the Champions League in 2019. We spent £6 million. We bought Adrian, Sepp van den Berg and Harvey Elliott. Yes, he's a midfielder, but he was a kid. He was still a kid back then. So I don't count him as a proper senior midfield signing. This is horrendous management of Liverpool and gross negligence to not buy a midfielder in previous summers, waiting for Jude Bellingham to become available, and then when he's available you don't have money to sign him. It's absolutely nonsensical. So let me know what do you think is happening in this Bellingham transfer saga. Which scenario is happening in your opinion? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.